Hi, my name is Nate Gilbert. I'm an attorney in San Antonio, Texas. And today I want to talk about LLCs versus PLLCs. So if you are a professional in the state of Texas, you have likely thought about forming an entity for your new practice. And if you haven't thought about that, you should start thinking about it. One of the things that we always look for is in PLLCs is for a professional license that is granted by the state. So if you are licensed to provide a professional service in the state of Texas, you can do so under a PLLC, a professional limited liability company. Well, what's the difference between a PLLC and an LLC, besides just a letter P? We form a PLLC much the same way we do an LLC, but it is much more restricted in terms of who can form them and who can be a member. So in your PLLC, so for instance, my firm is a PLLC, only other attorneys can join in my PLLC as members. So I would not be able to have anybody else be a member of that LLC, or that PLLC, excuse me, in any other kind of capacity. There are restrictions on certain professions that can be members of a PLLC together. So certain types of physicians, doctors of osteopathy, or podiatrists can form joint practices, and that's regulated by statute on who can join those kind of joint practices. PLLCs also provide a limited liability protection against malpractice lawsuits. Now, a PLLC does not shield an individual from a malpractice lawsuit if they commit some kind of malpractice or negligence while performing their services, but it does protect other members of that PLLC. So if you and your partner are in a PLLC together, that partner commits malpractice, the entity and the individual can be liable for the malpractice in the state of Texas, but not you, the other partner in the PLLC, for that partner's malpractice. That's one of the main benefits of PLLC if you're looking at the LLC versus PLLC structure for your business. Now, there are also some statutory requirements, so not every single professional in the state of Texas can form an LLC. You might be specifically required to form a PLLC by the state of Texas with Secretary of State. So those are the kind of things to look for when you're talking about PLLC versus LLC and what that means for you and your practice. Some people just like the PLLC if they can form it because it does lend a little bit of credibility. Well, it's a professional limited liability company that's registered with the state of Texas. That must mean it's a professional organization and run a little bit better. I don't know if there's any real credibility behind that, but marketing-wise, it sure can't hurt. When you have the PLLC structure, you're going to have a few different requirements in your operating agreement than you would in an LLC operating agreement. We want to make sure that we call out certain things and make certain restrictions very noticeable in our operating agreement. Additionally, that goes to your certificate of formation. There's going to be certain things in the certificate of formation that need to be spelled out before it's filed with the Secretary of State. And you use a different form, obviously, than the standard certificate of formation filing that we would normally do with a regular LLC. So making sure that you have all that paperwork in order, make sure it's all done correctly the first time, that's part of what my practice involves. And we'll get your paperwork sorted out, we'll get everything filed for you, and make sure that that's done correctly the first time, and you can get back to running your business.